I've worked at this small town bar for years, and I've seen all kinds of people walk through those doors: drunk regulars, lost travelers, even the occasional troublemaker. But nothing prepared me for what happened that night. It was a quiet Wednesday, the sort of evening when minutes appear to tick away and you end up wiping glasses that don't require it just to stay occupied. There were but a few patrons, all regulars save for him. He was over in the corner of the room alone, gazing at his drink. I don't recall him having ordered. He was just sitting there slumped over a whiskey glass, doing nothing much. His clothes were wet as if he'd just walked in from outside in the rain, but it hadn't rained in days. His color, pale, nearly gray, and his lips, they had this purplish hue as if he were cold to the bone. There was something about him that wasn't right. I couldn't help but glance, but the few times I snuck a look in his direction, swear the atmosphere around him sent shivers down my spine. Even one of our usual customers, Joe, glared at him sideways suspiciously, as if he sensed it too. As the night drew on, the customers drained away singly. Soon there were only me, Joe, and the chap in the corner. The bar was so deserted that there was nothing but the rumble of the fridge and the occasional squeak of a tensioned bar stool. I looked at the clock, time to close up. I took a breath and went over to him. "Hey, last guy standing. Another drink?" No answer. I stopped dead. "Sir?" Nothing. I leaned forward a little, close enough to look at his face. And that's when my stomach dropped. He wasn't breathing. His chest was flat and still. I experienced this wave of fear wash over me, the feeling that I already knew something was wrong before my brain had actually caught up. My heart was pounding, and the only thing that was running through my head suddenly was just to get the fuck out. I glanced at Joe, shaking. "Joe, can you?" And then he was gone. I blinked. The chair was vacant. No noise, no movement, anything. I cold sweated on my arms. My own hands trembled as I glided behind the bar and turned up the security feed, rewinding all the way back to seconds ago. And that's when I knew. On the monitor, I was there talking to nothing. The chair had been vacant the whole time. I couldn't breathe. My head spun. Joe was right on top of me now, staring at the movie with his eyes. "Lisa," he whispered, his voice hardly above a whisper. What did he look like? I swallowed my hard, dry throat. Wet clothes, white skin, blue lips. Joe stood in stunned silence for many seconds. And then, practically a whisper, "That's the sound of the man that drowned in the river behind this bar 5 years ago." I was sick. My white knuckles blanched on the countertop as the shock settled in. I never let anybody sit there after that. And to this day, when I close up alone, I swear, sometimes I can feel him sitting there waiting.